I am extremely excited today to have Nicole McClain with us. Nicole and I met back at the NRA show, the convention in Houston earlier this year. We had a lot of time to really talk at the listener meetup that we had, and instantly I became a fan of Nicole's, and right off the bat I knew that the Gun Guy Radio audience would love to hear an interview with her and just kind of learn about her, what she's doing, what she's done out there, a little bit about who Nicole McClain is in no particular order. Actress, fashion model, deer hunter, TV host, health advocate, fighter, warrior, survivor. I think that sums it up kind of in a nutshell. What am I missing from that list
I've
there,
always
Nicole?
been a fighter and a warrior since I was a little kid, like raising hell with my parents and stuff. I don't know how they put up with me, honestly. I mean, they're just good sports, and I guess when they decided to have kids, they had no idea what they were getting into. And I think I may have actually caused more havoc than my brothers, but they're real nice and say that I didn't, but we all know the truth. At least I do anyways. But yeah, cancer research, and I'm a big advocate for that. I have a strong push going, and hopefully we'll see a lot more traction. I've been very successful so far with the cancer portion of everything I'm doing, and I think now it might take off exponentially with a lot of things that are coming together by God's will. That's just how it works. So
Awesome. Why don't we talk about that a little bit here to start? I know that you're part of the 2013 Fight Like a Girl campaign. Can you dive into that a little bit?
Yeah, so a bunch of us girls got together, and we decided there's a group of us that have a strong tie to cancer in our lives, whether we've had it ourselves or we have a loved one who's suffering, or we've lost them to cancer, or personally ourselves, maybe we have cancer. So we all got together, and I'm talking like some really strong women. Shemaine Nugent, Kim from Packing in Pink, she's up in Canada. She manufactures products for women, whether it's holsters, eyes, ears, clothing, all of that stuff. And that's she's awesome, and she's an advocate for women and for guns and concealed carry. She's part of the NRA. She was in this calendar. Amy from Bond Arms. You've got Stephanie from Sons of Guns, so we took all these women and we got together. We made this calendar, and what's really unique about it is that 100% of the proceeds go to cancer. It's a fund, so women who have been diagnosed with they have a terminal diagnosis for breast cancer. They have less than a year to live in this case, and we take all of those proceeds and fund a last wish for those women within their 12 months. Now, we've already funded a couple wishes based on the sales of the calendar, but like I said, what's really unique is that 100% of the proceeds, so everybody that came together to put this calendar together, whether it's photographers, designers, printers, models, whoever it is, they did all of their work for free and contributed to that. Bruce Gates was my photographer, and he put in all kinds of time, everybody did, to produce this. And the calendar sells for $20. So when you think about that, you can order it online. That's a good amount of money going, as opposed to 2% or 10% of proceeds. We decided we're going full out. We're giving it all. So
That's awesome. Now, I know you're part of the 2013 campaign. Is that the first year, or when did that campaign start?
Fight Like a Girl has been around for a long time. You'll see their stuff in Macy's. You'll see it in Bed Bath & Beyond. But we actually came together to put this calendar together for the first year. I'm hopeful that maybe we can do one in 2014. I don't know if our schedules, I think we're busier now than we were last year, and last year we were pretty freaking busy. But hopefully I'd like to see us do it again, because it was a success, and I think now that we have some traction, it's going to go a lot better. So hopefully raise more money.
Awesome. Well, that's incredible. That's I think it's tough nowadays to get such a large collection of people together to almost do something for free like that, where all the proceeds are going 100%, to the research and that. So
yeah, you've got to bring people that all have the same cause, like they have the same goals, right? And bringing them all together, and then having them tap into their networks and say, hey, I'm part of this project, can you help me? and bringing all of that together. I mean, Ted Nugent donated his album cover to be the cover of this calendar. So it just brought a lot of people together, and we became better friends and better connected for the women in the calendar. So it's done more than raise money, but that started off being the purpose. But it is difficult to bring such big people together for a big project and say, hey, can you do it all for nothing?
Sure.
In terms of money on our parts or time. And you know what? Everybody was fully on board. They said, hell yeah, we're going to do it. So we did. It was cool. It's a good success.
That's awesome. Now, how did you get started in the industry? What is your background? I mean, I know I told everybody a little bit about you, why don't you give us a little bit more in depth?
Sure. So my background, I didn't even look to get into this modeling thing. I'll be honest with you, Hank, when I was in school, I was actually bullied. I was made fun of and teased. And this is stuff you'd see out of Mean Girls. Girls eating my lunch, just pranks all the time. I think my parents were going to just kill the phone line because the prank calls were coming in then. And it was off the hook. And so I would have never expected I would be doing anything like this. But I think going through that in my life made me, in a sad sort of way, it did some good for me, because I never thought I would go into anything like this. But I just literally kind of stumbled upon it. I was working at an agency. Some people came in and said, hey, we need to measure you. And I'm like, you know what? You're in the wrong room. I'm here for sales and marketing. Those really pretty girls are down the hallway. They're not in here. But they were looking for something really specific, and I fit the model, so to speak, for that, and it just kind of took off. That started with 20th Century Fox, and it went to a lot of other projects like TGI Fridays, Kellogg's, and things just escalated. And I thought, wow, it was kind of a whirlwind. Like, what's going on here? How did I get into this? And then from that point on, I was always into the outdoors, but how it kind of parlayed into hunting and now doing all of these hunting projects and photo shoots and stuff is, fishing. And that started when I was like 4 or 5. But around my late teens, I was diagnosed with cancer, and the outlook was not positive. I mean, we're talking limited time, rare diagnosis, actually misdiagnosed when it first happened. And thought everything was fine. Went in for a routine surgery, and a couple months later I find out that I have cancer. And wow, was that a kick in the you-know-what to find out as a teenager. Wow, I have plans for college, I have a scholarship, I'm doing all these things, I've had all these plans, and now they're over. They're done. You're done. Figure out what you want to do in limited time, and that's it. That's tough to deal with. As a teenager, as anybody, that's tough.
I can only imagine.
I decided at that point I was going to do whatever the hell I wanted to do. And a couple of those things were shooting and hunting. So I just kind of said I committed to it, so this is what I was going to do. Started target practice, realized I was just a good shot for it. I honestly never thought I'd shoot an animal because I'm an animal lover. But eventually I kind of got past that, fell in love with the sport, and I've been doing it ever since. And for some reason, I'm still here. I don't know what the hell it is, but I'm still here. So maybe it's, I'm just trying to use my talents now. If I can parlay hunting and cancer and everything else together to make things better in this world, or to make a difference in somebody else's life who isn't going to be given more time, then maybe that's what I'm here for, because I don't know any other reason, really.
Right, and unfortunately, that's the way he works. I don't know if you'll ever get that answer.
If I make it up there, I'm asking. I'm asking all kinds of things. But I'm going to ask him if I did right by him, if I make it. I mean, who knows? He could be like, why did I give you more time? Hopefully he won't say that.
I'm sure he's happy with what he sees you doing.
I hope so. There's lots more to do, so we'll see. He's probably, shaking his head saying, all right, keep going, keep going.
Right. Okay. You said that, that was kind of on your, I guess, bucket list, so to speak, once you had that diagnosis. What got you into the bow hunting and the shooting? I know you said that you grew up with brothers and stuff. Were Were they the ones that were doing it, or was this just some harebrained scheme, you know?
Oh, I'm good for harebrained schemes. Let me tell you, I'm good for those. And you would think that it would have been my brothers or my father, right? Because they're both older. Well, my dad obviously is older, but my brothers are older. And no, they don't hunt. They don't do any of that stuff. I'm a concealed carry. I'm lifetime NRA. My brother, he thinks I'm crazy. They both probably think I'm crazy. The one more is a little bit more lenient. He's like, yeah, that's my sister. And the other one just kind of smiles and says, yeah, so that's what you're doing today, huh? Okay, you're going to set up a tree stand? Right. But they're, you know, they're into fishing in the outdoors. And we, you know, we grew up running around, playing in mud, building rafts out of wood, rope, and inner tubes, and just, you know, all kinds of crazy stuff that girls should not be doing. And when boys do it, moms get a little nervous. I was all a part of that circle. And I just decided, you know, when the diagnosis came in, and that was one of the things I wanted to do, I had a circle of friends that I was running around with, and they were hunters. And they were, you know, into all of this stuff and shooting guns, and kind of opened my eyes more to it and gave me more access to it. And so I tried it, and I just fell in love, you know. And I you know, I was, the first time I went up into a tree stand, I was real nervous. And I knew in the back of my head, I'm like, you're not going to shoot anything. Like, you're not going to kill any animals, you weirdo. What are you doing up here at 6:30 in the morning smelling like doe urine? It just doesn't make sense. But they, you know, eventually it got to a point where I passed on so many doe and so many buck. And I said, I am getting up early. I am buying all this gear. I'm marching out here, and I'm sitting in a stand only to watch 12-point buck walk in front of me, and I do nothing. I just let it go on its way. Then eventually one day I said, you know, if that ever happens again, I am not going to pass that up. I am not going to miss that opportunity. I'm going to take it. So the next time a buck came walking through, and I thought that I couldn't do it, I was like, damn it, you're doing this. And I did it. And it was a rough stretch. I sat up in my tree stand thinking God was looking at me like, this is not why I spared you. This is not why I saved you. And I was upset. I was upset. Called my dad, and my dad just kind of gave me this. I said, Dad, I just shot a buck. And he's, you know, hardcore Vietnam vet, but very even keel, right? And he says, well, that's what you set out to do, right? And I'm like, you know, I'm all upset. Well, yeah. Well, then good job. That was all I got. And somehow, you know, that was enough. And just kind of moved me past that point of, I still feel a moment of affliction every time I shoot and take an animal, but I see it now from a different perspective. It's more than that. It's about harvesting the animal. It's the season. It's the gear. It's the camaraderie. It's the trip planning. It's everything that goes into it for me. So
it makes sense. I mean, you know, I thought maybe you were gonna say, you know, if you kept passing it up, that you put the bow down and took a camera up there with you instead and start shooting pictures of them walking right by. But okay, right? I'm glad to see that you followed through with it. At least.
I tell you, so many times it was that last buck that came by, that 12-point, and this thing was gorgeous. It was gorgeous, and you know, you pull. Nope. I didn't do it. I didn't do it. And I got out of that stand, and I was so livid. I was livid at myself. I was walking out, you know. The deer were probably looking at me like, there she goes again. Don't worry, guys. She'll be next. She's not going to do a damn thing to us.
So did you get that first one mounted? Is that somewhere on the wall behind you that's out of view?
I have one mounted. It's right up here. And I do have, I actually have two of my heads that the taxidermist has taken to shows. So I don't even have them on my own walls. And I've been trying to get them back from him. And he's like, one more show, just one more show. So hope to get those back and put them up. But I've got one up here. I've got some horns. I hate to move this, but maybe you can see them. I've got some horns up there, and you know, a couple in my bag out in the hunting lodge gear room. So, but yeah, that was quite an experience for me. Nice. Crying, calling Dad, camo.
It's not mascara running down your face from the tears. It's camo paint,
right.
you know.
Camo paint. Whoosh.
Well, you know, I guess that kind of takes me into a little bit of the next topic that I wanted to talk about. The most recent issue of Deer and Deer Hunting magazine.
Very exciting.
Yeah, I just picked that up the other day.
Thank you.
So I got to read that article. It was great. You know, I saw the stuff that they did online with you as well too. But how did you come about getting featured in their series, I'm a Deer Hunter?
So crazy story. They contacted me. They saw some stuff online, saw some work I was doing for breast cancer, and said, this girl's a hunter, this doesn't match up. And I think that made them dig a little bit deeper when they found out, oh, there's some authenticity here, that they decided to give me a call and said, hey, we want to feature you. So when I'm asking them about it, they said, oh, you know, we featured Ted Nugent, we did, you know, Republican Paul Ryan, the Duck Dynasty. And I'm thinking, okay, well, that's pretty good company. You know, I'm flattered.
Absolutely.
But the I'm a Deer Hunter series is taking someone who you would see and never expect them to be a hunter. That's really what it is. And I guess I fit that mold. So they thought it would be a good opportunity to have me featured in there. So those guys over there are great. Dan is he's a senior editor over at Deer and Deer Hunting, and he's a stellar dude, man. I can't say enough about him. He's a good guy and runs a tight ship, and I really liked working with those guys. So they ended up doing the magazine, and it kind of spiraled into more. It spiraled into this online feature, a photo gallery. Then I was on their Deer Talk Now show, and I'm just grateful for the opportunity. I think everything I do now, you know, I ask God if it's what he wants me to do. If it's his plan, whether I want it or not, I'll tell him, hey, I really want this. But if you don't want me to have it, like, it's all right. I get it. I come on borrowed time. So I just believe that everything kind of comes together for a reason, whatever that is. And I'm just, you know, focused on his plan being mine. So,
That's
yeah, but
awesome.
it was an exciting opportunity. It was really cool.
Very
Especially
cool.
Duck Dynasty, because when we were at the NRA convention, so get this, we're walking down through the convention halls, and it was John Gimber. He's got this backpack on, and it's a Duck Commander, it's the Duck Dynasty backpack, and it's camo. I actually have this right here. I carry this everywhere I go, so I need to give him major props for what he did. So you see this bag? Can I say bag?
Sure.
You
just did.
Yeah, bag. Sorry. Should ask first. It says Buck Commander on it. This bag is freaking awesome. So we're walking down the convention center, and he's got it on his back, and he's walking through, and I'm like, hey, I really like that. Where can I get one of those? Go, we don't have them anywhere. He's like, this is like, I think this one and one other bag is the only kind. I was like, damn. I said, I would buy one of those if you had them. And he just so kindly looks at me and goes, you want this one? And I said, well, you're damn right I do. I thought he was totally kidding. So he says to me, he's like, well, I need it for the rest of the convention, but when the convention's over, I'll ship it to you. And you know, you all hear those things. Well, I'll do this, I'll
Right.
ship it to you. I'll be damned, that bag showed up. He shipped it to me. He put it in a box and he shipped it to me. And now I carry this thing everywhere I go. I love this bag. It's so cool. And I'm just blown away that, you know, follow through is tough these days. Tough to get.
Very true. Very true. And that was,
yeah, and I'm sure his schedule is like really packed and busy. So for him to mail me a bag.
yeah, I think anything that has Duck Dynasty attached to it right now is successful as all heck, and
yeah,
busy.
Right. You guys had a chance to talk to them while you were there, right? Did you get a chance to have meetings with them?
No, they weren't there when we were there. They were in and out.
Okay.
And then I had just missed them. I want to say that they canceled when we were at SHOT Show as well too. They canceled it the day they were supposed to be there and everything. But some of the guys from the Talking Lead podcast went on their way back home through, I think it's Monroe, Louisiana is where Buck Commander's out of. And so they had stopped there and everything and gotten to tour the place. And
oh, good.
met a few of them and all that.
Good.
We're actually trying to get one of them, either Willie or Phil or somebody on our God and Guns podcast, because they just, I think would bring a lot to the audience, with our faith that we have here at the network, and for the God and Guns podcast, I think it'd be a great fit. So we're working on that still.
Those guys were so nice at the show. I mean, just so nice and very generous. We were there and they said, "Hey, what do you want? You want some calls? You want some tank top hats?" I'm thinking, gosh, these guys just give stuff away. And then I walk out with a backpack to put it all in, right?
There you go. Yeah, no, I mean, when we were over there, though, the manager and everything, they were great people. Everybody that's associated with that brand has been fantastic. And I know that this interview that we're doing is launching Sunday. It's actually Wednesday right now, and it's the premiere of their new season coming up tonight and stuff. So looking forward to a whole new season of Duck Dynasty for sure.
I'm sure it'll be awesome. Yeah. Those guys are a riot.
They are. They're hysterical. What do you have working in the plans for the future here coming up? Do you have anything big that you're working on? Anywhere that we're gonna see you in any print or video?
I have a couple more interviews to do, and I'm actually working on quite a few projects. So I just linked up with it's CAMX Crossbows, CAMX Crossbows, and I'm working with that company and their products. They just gave me one of their crossbows, and that thing it's pretty tight. I like it. I'm a fan of crossbows. I have another one that's a Horton Legend SL, and I got this CAMX one now. I've been using that, so I think there's going to be some stuff coming up with them that we've talked about doing. Pink Arrow Project, I think that's going to be big. Mary, who runs all of that stuff for Pink Arrow Project. So you buy these arrows, and they are like fuchsia neon pink. And there's proceeds that go towards breast cancer. And so I think we're going to be doing a lot together here. I've got some other projects in the mix. Unfortunately, some things I can't really talk about because it's not all set in stone and done, but I'm so pumped about them that I hope they come to fruition. So if those come out, you guys will definitely see that. And just talking to a lot of hunting manufacturers, gun manufacturers about how we can, work together. And maybe raise some more money for cancer, whether it's breast cancer or it's prostate cancer or something else. So, and maybe another magazine is a possibility coming up in this fall. So,
that's great. Tell me a little bit more about the Pink Arrow project. Are those like readily available in the stores and stuff, or is
that's a great question because I guess they're getting more difficult to find. In terms of ordering them. So it's just because they're so popular. I even have guys on Facebook that will reach out to me and say, "Hey, I see this Pink Arrow Project stuff you're doing. How can I get some? Because I want to shoot with them." Or his wife has breast cancers and she doesn't hunt, but he does. So he wants to use them or donate money. When cancer hits your life and kicks somebody's butt that you're, like, in a relationship with, or you're married to, or a child or a parent, it's a game changer. I mean, it is a game changer. So it doesn't surprise me that these guys say, "Hey, I want to do everything I can, not just help my wife, but I want to donate money and I want to show that I'm a supporter." And so you can order them online. People can order them through me. And I think you're going to see more of a surge because there's a popularity associated with those arrows. I mean, I don't have any of them in here. They're all loaded up in my truck. But these arrows are they're sharp looking. First time I saw them, I'm like, those are way too pink. I don't know what those are about. And then when I found out that they were breast cancer, I was like, send them over. That's what I'm hunting with. So.
Very cool. And CAMX, you said that with their crossbows, tell me a little bit about them. Is that something that they're bringing to the market that's new? What is it that you like about?
It's new. So I have mine here. If you want
Sure.
me to grab it real quick, I can show this thing to you. Oh, is this on here? This is it. So, and like I said, I'm a fan of crossbows. So this guy here, what's nice about this, so this is the cocking strap, because to pull this back is about 175 pounds. It still goes, it's going 325 feet per second, which you can get with a vertical compound bow. But this is definitely going to deliver more of an impact. You can probably do a longer range with this one. But this is the cocking strap if you need an assist to pull this back. And how it's normally done in the industry is you take this, you wrap it up, and you store it in your bag. Well, here they've made it so it's like a store and carry because it fixes right on to the back of this, back of the crossbow itself. And it has these safety features, so these are new. I've only seen one other bow out there when I was just looking. I saw one other bow that has something similar to this, but these aren't stationary. These are safety features, so your thumb can, when you're holding this, cannot go above the rail, because a lot of people get their thumbs taken off. And I say a lot, you know, people will say, well, there's really not that many in compared to how many people use crossbows, but there's more than enough people that have had their thumbs taken off. So this is a safety feature that keeps your thumb from going up here. And they've changed the way this looks. Like this is adjustable, so you can add pieces to this to make it longer so it fits in your frame better. If you're a smaller female, larger male, you can adjust this. And there's another safety feature under here, is this piece right here. So this, when you drop your arrow in, this actually keeps it from dry firing. So if there's no arrow in here, it's not going to dry fire. That's a big problem, because if you're taking something like this up in the stand and you already have it cocked and ready and you don't shoot anything, you've got to come down from the stand and be careful that this thing doesn't go off even if the safety is on, because you bump the safety, it can fire. So what this does is if you take your arrow out, it's not going to dry fire at all. It's already set, so you don't have to worry about that anymore. You need to walk through the woods and you want to go to another location, you don't need to release it and then cock it back again. I mean, so there's some features on this thing that are pretty awesome, and from what I've felt and heard and seen about it, is that people are happy with the weight of it also. So this thing racks out at like 8 pounds, which is pretty good for a crossbow. And I don't know, I'm liking it. I'm liking it, so I can't wait to use it this season. But I have a couple vertical ones too that I'm getting a new vertical one. That'll be something cool I can share with you guys when that comes out. Can't release that now, but I'm getting a pretty nice vertical bow. I almost don't want to say I'm getting it because I feel like I'll jinx it. You know how that is. Another vertical bow, and then I've got, gosh, I have so much gear, Hank. I have crazy gear. This is my other vertical. So this is from Limb Saver Dead Zone. This thing, yeah, I like this too. So this is a 44-pound pole, but I can crank it all the way up to, you know, a 50-pound, 53-pound pole, I think it is. And I've got my night sights on here. I've got like, I got too much stuff. Actually, I don't have too much stuff. I'm just told. I'm told that I have too much stuff. But I don't believe it.
That's just jealous people telling you that.
Yeah,
too,
yeah.
you know?
According to the size of my gear room, I have too much stuff. I mean, I have like, I got stuff everywhere, and this is just like an office. This isn't even where the gear is supposed to be. So.
Now I know you deer hunting is your favorite. Is that safe to say?
Yeah. I mean, I've been doing deer hunting the longest. I'll go for anything. I'll do turkey hunting. The only thing I won't do, so I'll do turkey, elk, moose, duck hunting. I would even go on an elk hunt. I would even do wild boar. In fact, some of these guys down at the NRA convention said, "Oh, you want to go boar hunting?" I'm like, "Sure. What kind of gear can I use?" "Oh, we're just going to give you a knife." And I'm, a knife? What are we doing with this? So I guess the whole thing is they send you out there with someone. They said something about doing this at night. So I'm like, all right, okay, this isn't snipe hunting because I'm on to you. Right. So you go out and you find these wild hogs, and what you do is they grab them by the tail, and then I'm supposed to grab them by the back leg. And then you take this and you go right up into the heart. And this thing, well, it bleeds out in like 30 seconds if you hit it right. I'm like, oh my gosh, I've got to hit this thing right. I cannot screw this up, you know? So I would even do that. No problems there. But deer hunting's probably my favorite. The only thing I won't hunt is rabbit. I won't do that. I saw this, gosh, I don't know what this guy's problem was. If he was just mental or was just trying to freak me out. But he took rabbit. So we went rabbit hunting. Takes this rabbit. Normally what you do is you zipper it up the belly. You lay it on its back, you zipper up the belly, and you clean everything out, right? That's normal. What's not normal is when you don't zipper it up the belly and you just take this thing and you wring it out like a washcloth and all this stuff, comes out the bottom. Not cool. Not pretty. Kind of gross. I'm not into that. So this crazy loon ruined, rabbit hunting for me. So I can't do that anymore. No.
Yeah, I think that's the first time I've ever heard of somebody doing it that way. And
I've never seen anything like that in my life, and I hope I never see it again. I never saw that guy again, for good reasons. But my dog Moog, he still hunts rabbits. I go in the yard, and I can't believe he's that fast. He snatches up these rabbits, and they're massive. I don't know what these things are on, like steroids or something. These massive rabbits are back there, and he catches up to them, chases them, and then, he's pawing at it like, Mom, why is it not talking anymore? It's not and I'm like, dude, what did you do? You killed it.
Aren't you proud of me, Mom? Look what I got for you.
Right. He did that with I woke up one morning, went in the back, and I saw this massive thing. I'm calling him. He's not answering. Whenever you call a 100-pound Rottweiler that is trained to, respond, and he doesn't respond, he's getting into something bad. Bad from my perspective, good for his perspective. So I run out there, and there is this. I didn't even know what the hell this thing was. All I knew, it was big, it was gross, and I was actually going to touch it and put it in like a bag and get rid of it. And he's doing this whole paw thing at it, like, hey, what's going on? It's not moving. So I leave it there for the day, and I come home later that afternoon, and it's gone. I didn't clean this up. Who would clean that up? Nobody's going to volunteer to clean that up, and it was gone. Here it turns out. I should have known it was a possum. So he probably chased after that thing, and it's, sleeping.
There you go. Makes sense.
I'm glad I didn't try and pick it up and put it in a bag.
Because put that bag somewhere, and then all of a sudden, empty bag with a hole in it. Now you've got no idea where this thing is.
From possum attack. She doesn't die from cancer. She doesn't die.
There you go.
She just dies from a possum attack.
God, why? Why was that your plan for me? What did I do?
God's like, that's it. We're putting the kibosh on this. No more time for you. I shouldn't even joke about that. That's horrible.
I know you primarily shoot with bow. What about anything else? Do anything with firearms with your deer hunting at all?
Yeah, definitely. So I've been hunting with a 10 gauge, a 12 gauge, 30-06. I'm not big into the handgun, like, where these guys go out with these handguns and do hunting. To me, that's a little rogue. But, I've gone out and used different shotguns and rifles. It depends where I go, because in certain states you can't use certain stuff. And now I'm waiting for those laws to change, to see if, are you still going to be able to use a rifle in Pennsylvania? Of course, I don't think anything can change in Pennsylvania. I think that whole state, they'd all get in their trucks and start a big uproar, and they have their own little colony over there. But all kinds. So I used to have a Mossberg, and I really love that. But a couple of my weapons I either traded in or lost for other circumstances, and now I'm looking to add to my arsenal again. So hopefully we'll be doing that maybe as soon as this fall. So I'm hopeful to do that. But bow season is definitely my favorite. I love guns, love shooting, target practice, all of that. And like I said, I'm concealed carry. I carry a Glock 9mm. And so I love the guns and the weapons. But most, like, first day of bow season, I am out in that tree stand. I'm out there. It's a different skill set, it's
sure.
You go out there shotgun season, and the environment, I don't want to say it's already been polluted, but there's already been a lot of hunters that have been out there for bow season. So the deer they've gotten the heads up. They got the memo that there's people out in the woods. So, you go into gun season and that changes. You can shoot further. You've got a different range. So it's a different perspective from a hunter. Or from a hunter's perspective, it's different than it is if you're a bow hunter. Bow hunters, they have to I'll shoot at 30 yards. That's much different than shooting something with a 12 gauge or shooting with a rifle. And it's, I enjoy it because during bow season or as a bow hunter, scent really comes into play. It does in any season, but it really comes into bow season because now you're trying to get them to come within 15, 20, 25 yards. And they'll pick you up from hundreds of yards away. So there's a lot of game that you could lose out on because it's bow season. So there's advantages and disadvantages to both for sure. And I like both seasons. I have a muzzleloader too. I have a Traditions muzzleloader, and that's only for a short period of time, at least in Ohio, for deer season. So there's you get like an extra 4 or 5 days to go hunting with a muzzleloader. And I remember that's the time where you wish you had like a 12 gauge or a 10 gauge. So I'm sitting in a tree stand and we're driving. So we've got these guys out there in the woods and they're driving down. And I'm sitting in the tree stand and I hear this rustle and I'm just waiting for something to come through. And I hear this and this thing's tracking through and I'm like, oh, this is going to be great. And I'm waiting. I've got a muzzleloader. So it comes down and I'm like looking, comes right through. It's a coyote. Now we're allowed to take out the coyotes, right? So I'm looking at it and I said, gosh, I really want to take that coyote. They're a nuisance. They're running my deer around. I need to take that thing out. I'm like, but if I take this shot, whatever they're driving, I'm not going to have anything, you know what I mean? So I let the coyote go, knowing, that there's going to be some buck coming down. And I sit in the tree stand and I'm waiting. And then all of a sudden I see orange. So that was tough. I'm like, what's that coyote? Where did he go?
Maybe next time, right?
Maybe. Yeah, I have a couple nuisance permits to take out coyotes. They're becoming a problem here in Ohio. Moving down even to people's backyards. And you don't really need to worry about them if they're, just one. But you start getting packs of 3, packs of 5. They're coming up in people's backyards on their decks. I mean, there's been a couple cases where people are losing their dogs because the coyotes are moving. They're moving down. They weren't, 10 years ago.
Yeah, we've seen the same thing here in Illinois. A lot more. Like you said, in packs and we're not seeing the singles that we were. I can sit out and I'm in a farm community and I mean, you can hear them chattering and talking at night and stuff and answering each other back. And you just hear them in the numbers.
Let's go get that radio guy.
Yeah. And I'm yelling, bring it to him from my yard. And all the neighbors are looking at me like, what's this guy talking about? It's crazy.
I love the sound of them. And I'm not afraid. They're actually kind of scraggly looking, but
those are the scary ones. Those are the ones that aren't fed, and they're the ones that are, looking and being a little bit more brave and coming up on the back patios, looking for whatever they can scrounge up.
I'm not too afraid of them, but I know that a lot of people around here. I mean, I guess it is kind of scary if there's a coyote in your backyard. I look at them, I'm like, what are you doing here? You picked the wrong yard, Right. So you're not supposed to shoot them, but
Mog just wants to go play.
Yeah, right. That's where I would get terrified. That's where because then mom comes in, the mom role, and gets nervous of my little guy getting hurt or something. But yeah, so we've got some news. There's a lot of them down here. In fact, just this morning I saw 2 of them run right across the front yard in front of the front window, and they're just everywhere. And it's August. It's middle of August, right. So to see them doing that now, I'm hopeful it's going to be a good season.
Good deal. Well, you know what? Thank you very much for spending some time with me today and the listeners and viewers. And it was great to see you again since Houston and get a chance to talk and stuff. And wish you well with all that stuff that you have that you can't mention right now, on the plate.
I know.
We look forward to hearing from you as you can announce, some of these things that you have in the works and all that, and hope that you can share that with us soon.
Will do. And it's so good to see you. It's been way too long since the NRA convention. Gosh, what was that? Beginning of May, I think? I think that was May.
I think it was, yeah. Yeah, beginning of May. And I'm sure, are you going to SHOT Show?
I'm thinking about it. I've got a couple opportunities out there that might bring me there. So if they don't, then it's definitely a place that we need to be. So we'll probably be out there for that, I'm sure. Yeah, you guys are definitely going to be there. So that's one reason why I need to go. There you go.
Maybe we'll bump into you out there and stuff.
Oh yeah, definitely.
That was our first convention that we did was SHOT Show this year, and it was just a great time. media day at the range and stuff. I know Jake loved more than anything, and watching the Three Gun Nation championships and stuff. So a lot of cool stuff going on out there.
Yeah, that's a good show. That's a good show.
It is. I just heard that they got picked up by the Blaze. So they're coming
the Blaze.
Yeah, so the Blaze just picked them up, and one other show too, and it's driving me nuts. It's like the Trick Gun Masters. As soon as we hang up, I'm gonna spout it out. I can't remember, but they just announced that yesterday that they picked up both of those shows from NBC Sports and stuff. So it'd be good to have them back on the air. So Facebook page, everybody can find you at
it's Nicole McClain, model, actress, deer hunter. Or they can shoot me an email, nicole@nicolemclain.com.
And for Twitter followers, at McClain Tweets.
Yeah.
There we go.
Okay. There's a lot more. There's some hunting stuff on my Twitter feed, but most of it is related to health and wellness. I'm a big, in addition to cancer, health and wellness, medical innovations. There's a lot of information on there, everywhere from prostate cancer, Alzheimer's, just pretty much anything, diabetes, chronic conditions, muscle and joint issues, heart. I'm tweeting all that stuff out all day. So if you're interested in that, there's a constant feed going there too. And I'm on LinkedIn too, so they can connect with me on LinkedIn. But feel free to email me, and definitely connect with me on Facebook. That'd be great.
Awesome. Great. And I know you and I talked before the show, in the past week or whatever, and we're going to try and get you on the Fat to Fit episode here, the show that we have on the network also. So I don't know if you've connected with our host for that yet, with Carol or not, but for any of the listeners on this show, hopefully we'll get some crossover to that to get more into that health and wellness aspect of your life and all that too. So
yeah, because hunters can be fitness people too. I remember when Ted Nugent posted this deer and deer hunting article, like, oh, Nicole McClain's in this, and the people were like, she can't be a deer hunter, she's in shape. And I thought, you're trying to insult me, but you just insulted yourself.
Right.
Saying that deer hunters can't be in shape or fit or care about how much sodium they take in a day, which shouldn't be more than 2,300 milligrams, in case anybody's wondering. But that they don't care about that kind of stuff, and I'm not gonna believe all that. That's all nonsense. So a lot of health. I'm excited about that show, to be on that. That'll be good.
Awesome. Well, we're looking forward to it. So again, thank you very much. It's great seeing you and talking to you. We'll talk to you again soon.
It's good to talk to you too. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.
Bye.